I have a real shocker for you all, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out that about 5 years ago, Thomas Matthew Crooks made some anonymous post online saying that he was going to do something absolutely horrific at his high school. Now, obviously, most of you all are not shocked. I was just being a little bit sarcastic at the beginning of this video. But for those of you all who don't know, this story has gotten so crazy that I had to create a new channel just to talk about it. I don't ask for much, but I will ask you guys, if you're interested in this story, please go subscribe to that channel, Political Cinema. I already have multiple videos over there, and you're not going to want to miss them. But yes, unsurprisingly, it turns out that Thomas Matthew Crooks was a little sick weirdo that was claiming that he was going to do something absolutely horrific at his school, and now his former classmates are speaking out about it. Let's go ahead and figure out what's going on here. Thomas Matthew Crooks threatened to pew-pew up his high school when he was just 15 years old in an incident that wasn't taken seriously at the time, but is now being probed by the FBI. Federal officers on Thursday visited Crooks' former classmate Vincent to quiz him about Thomas's hatred of politicians and the threats he made as a freshman at Bethel Park High School. Vincent says, "We had like this anonymous place where you could post things or tell on someone on our computers at school. And he posted something like, 'Don't come to school tomorrow,' and something else that made it sound as if he had put bombs in the cafeteria bathrooms or something. Half of us just didn't come to school the next day. I know I didn't, but it wasn't taken seriously. We all texted one another, and it came out pretty quickly that it was Thomas and his friend group who had made the threats to pew-pew up the school." According to him, investigators were keen to hear more about the threats made by the younger Crooks in 2019, which were not, he said, taken seriously at the time. It never fails, folks. Every single time we have a situation like this, when you look into the history of the suspect, there's always signs. Now with Thomas, it's been hard to find those signs because it appears that they scrubbed his digital footprint off the internet. It appears that they scrubbed all of his social media accounts. But here we hear, 5 years ago, when he was only 15 years old, he was already threatening to do crazy things. Now, kids will be kids. Sometimes kids say stupid things, but in my opinion, at this point, at where we're at right now in America, you cannot look at these type of threats and not take them seriously. Even if you're a kid and you're, saying stuff when you're in high school, stuff that you may not mean, I feel like these people need to be added to a list and watched because there's always signs. Now, they say that Thomas had a little friend group, and they think that Thomas and his friend group were the ones that posted this message. Who else is in Thomas's friend group? Because we're hearing a lot of mixed reports about Thomas, and it appears, depending on who you are, you may have viewed Thomas in a totally different light. At first, it seems as if, he was this bullied kid. But now I'm hearing that he was more of a narcissist, a know-it-all. And in the videos they provided of him getting bullied, it doesn't look like he's getting bullied at all. It really looks like the mainstream media tried to run a narrative that would make you sympathize with Thomas Matthew Crooks. And it may seem crazy to think that people would be sympathizing with him, but there are people right now as we speak outside of the Republican National Convention with signs and posters of Thomas Matthew Crooks, and they're viewing him as some type of hero. Not to mention, yesterday there was a person arrested in a mask with a weapon right outside the RNC as well. So it looks like they're going to try this again. And I really do think that Thomas more than likely inspired a bunch of people to do crazy things, especially because now it just looks so easy. It looks so easy. It looks like anyone could try something stupid against one of our politicians. But hearing about this history, it does not come as a surprise to me at all. And I'm sure it will not surprise you all. But I want to know what you all think about this down in the comments below. And remember, I got updates for this story coming on 3 different channels now and over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you're subscribed. It only takes 30 seconds. And make sure you're following me, and you will be getting constant 24/7 around the clock updates. I've been missing out on sleep, really trying to keep up with this story. So do me a favor and go follow and go subscribe and all of those other locations. But for now, let me know what you think right here down in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.